So you think you were right? Bring it on, prove me wrong. Go put up a fight. The way I do will knock you down.
Hey guys, Captain Dave Schneider. It's a Guy's Life. Just sitting here watching a little Monday Night Football. Oh, I just watched Odell Beckham cart off down a hallway looking for X-rays on his ankle. That can't be good. Anyway, fortunately, I don't have all my eggs in that basket. But I thought I'd check in. I shot a little bit of video today, and I screwed around the last few days. And I was hoping maybe I'd get something really cool from today's total solar eclipse. But frankly, it just wasn't that cool here in South Florida. 80% was our mark off. It makes me wish I had driven up 10 hours to get into or 12 hours to get into the good zone. It wasn't that cool. I did have glasses, and I looked at the sun and all that, and I got to see the eclipse in that regard. But you just couldn't really photograph. There wasn't any photographic opportunities for me really to speak of. I shot a couple of time lapses, and they didn't look all that good. But anyway, I did get a call from a fellow subscriber and fellow YouTuber, Edwin Palmer. Edwin shoots Adventures. If you got to search Edwin Palmer Jr. to find his channel, but because for some reason he didn't name it Adventures, even though that's the name of it. Don't get me started. But he asked me some questions. He's having some trouble. He's losing a bunch of hooks and rigs to the northern pike bite, which is a big thing if you're up anywhere north of the Ohio River. You start fishing in the Bassy waters, and you're going to get those big northern pike and stuff. So I was talking to him about a rig that I use, and I thought, you know what, hey, this might be a good thing to show you guys. So what I do in that situation is I use something called an invisaleader, and I'm going to get myself focused here so you guys can see this thing here. The invisaleader is this deal. It's a very thin leader. It's got a swivel on one end, and it's steel leader. And I'm hoping to God that this is in focus. But what I do is I cut the clip off it because it catches when you're pulling something like a horny toad or something like that, or a swim bait through the grass, and through the topwater grass. The clip will catch, but I replace it with a split ring because the split ring just bounces off and it doesn't catch grass. And then I use the rig just like that. And that's how I deal with any kind of, and I've got it hooked to a horny toad rig or a swim bait rig here. But you could do this with, you could keep the clip on if you were throwing a chatterbait or something like that. But that's what I do. And I thought I would show you guys this. This is a great wire leader setup. You could even use this in saltwater if you were catching Spanish mackerel and trout and things like that. This is a great thing. It's called an invisaleader, and I'll actually put the link for you on the video description so that you can find the invisaleader. It's pretty cool beans. I mean, it works good, and what I like about it is it's basically completely invisible. I mean, the thing is just invisible. I mean, you can't even see it right there from this angle. But so anyway, invisaleader, steel leaders, use them to circumvent the toothy critters. Also, just going from monofilament or fluorocarbon to braid will also really go a long ways towards improving your hookup ratio as well. I hope that's useful information for you. I'm going to go back to my Monday Night Football. I'm going to throw up a little bit of the stuff I have from earlier, let you get a look at that. Captain Dave Schneider, It's a Guide's Life. Oh, boat update. Well, actually, I think I have a boat update for you coming right here. I'll give you the boat update when I was setting up my vlog for earlier. So you'll get the boat story in there as well. Captain Dave Schneider, It's a Guide's Life. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get my boat back and get out on the lake and do some fishing. Schneider, It's a Guide's Life, and it's solar eclipse day, man. I'm standing out here on my front porch. The sun is about 25% covered up at this point. You can start to see a change in the color of the light. We're going to get to about 80% here in Clewiston, where I'm at. I've got a couple things going. I'm shooting a time lapse with my 4/3 camera. I'm going to use some software called PT GUI to lace it all together. It's really good stuff. And then I've also got my my time lapse going, my video time lapse on my GoPro going over here. And the Hero 4s do a really nice job on video time lapse. I really like the way it works. So that's cool. All this is going on. I don't want to look directly at the sun. I do have the glasses where I can look at the sun, and I have done that, but I'm still a little leery about doing it. I just kind of glance at it real quick with the special glasses. But having said all of that, on the boat front, some good news there. Part 1 of the boat repairs the trolling motor, and it was just some cables. One of the cables cut loose, and that's something that happens even with the Fortrex motors and whatnot, that kind of thing. It happens. So that's cool. That's all that is. I'm happy about that. They're getting into the motor now. Let's keep our fingers crossed that hopefully that's nothing really super serious. It's something easily fixable. I'm hoping it's something in the water pump region, because that makes the most sense to me. So we'll see. But anyway, hey man, I'm just hanging out here. It's hotter than a mother scratcher as usual, and I'm just kind of passing time. It's kind of a special deal, guys. This thing hasn't happened 100% over the U.S. like this in like 100 years. So it's a cool day. It's a neat thing. It's not a cool outside here, literally, but it's a pretty neat day. Let's put it that way. So anyway, I'll show you how this stuff turns out, if it turns out halfway decent. If you don't see anything from me about it, it's because it must have sucked. Anyway, Captain Dave now. I'll see you after a bit.
Don't cry about it. Don't cry about it. You want me to take you in my trust. Oh no, you know that ain't the way.
You know, one of the things I realized is after I moved to South Florida was that, you know, quite frankly, there's a big component of not doing all the things you used to do when you lived here, you know. So I've kind of made it a point to try and, you know, starting this summer here, I've kind of made it a point to try and do the stuff that I did when I was a tourist. Because now, instead of driving 25 hours to get to South Florida, I live in South Florida. And so, I mean, it's just stupid the way I don't do the things that I used to do. And, you know, it's time to get over on the coast and do some diving. Right now, especially with the heat, the heavy tides are kind of slacking a little bit, and the current isn't what it can be during certain times of the year. It's a great time to get out on the reefs and maybe go do some lionfish hunting. You know, I really want to do some lionfish hunting and get some of that on tape. But anyway, I'm walking back to the truck right now. I'm going to get myself the big camera, and I want to shoot a little bit of my vlog on my big camera here. It's Captain Dave. I got to get some business cards too. Somebody's like, hey man, you work for HBO? I'm like, no, I work for It's a Guide's Life. See you in a bit. Well, they say membership has its privileges. Well, yeah, I know, but we got ours first. Anyway, they come around here and toss some popsicles to the crowd. Who doesn't like that? Grape's my favorite. It's also red my favorite. Two favorites. So that's good. Hey, you guys, that's a perfect position. Now you can bomb my YouTube channel the whole afternoon. Yeah? That's fantastic. Say hey, fellas.
What's going on?
No, say hey, fellas.
Hey fellas.
That's a rock star right there, right? Already. Here we go.